Hey everybody, this is Corey over at BMW of Temple. I know I have a bunch of customers that have our M cars that are always wondering what actually goes into the process of having a break-in done on, say, an M3, M4, X5M, X6M, any of the M cars in our lineup. I want to show you all today with some of our techs here. I've got Andy with me. He's actually behind the camera right now. That's going to show us exactly what goes into the break-in process on your M car.
Morning, my name is Andy, certified BMW technician at Garland Shelton, Temple, Texas. Today we're working with Corey on an M3 this morning. Basically for the 1,200-mile break-in service that BMW mandates for their vehicles, which is covered through warranty maintenance. We have a rear diff flush we're going to do today. We're also going to conduct the oil change on this. Basically, BMW has really tight tolerances for these, for engine specifics, and through the break-in process, there's a lot of break-in material, I think is really the best way to put it, that these go through. So tiny burrs inside of things, machine castings, imperfection, flaws, whatever it may be, all that gets put into the oil in the oil filter, and basically BMW as a manufacturer's goal is to try and get all that out of there. That goes to the rear diff as well, so we're going to flush the fluid inside of there, and you're going to see what all that fluid looks like coming out today. Okay guys, so step one in the 1,200-mile BMW break-in service is deleting the notification on the dashboard saying you're due for the service. The myth is that deleting this is what gives your vehicle more power. It doesn't. We're just telling the car, hey, we've completed the service correctly. This isn't like the usual thing where you can hold the button on the dash to get rid of the oil change or your brake flush or whatever service you're currently due for. It has to be done at the BMW dealership because we use a specific system through BMW in order to delete it. So we just go into the system, it says deactivate the service function, we go through and we're done. So that's it as far as hooking up to the vehicle. We're just clearing the light. All right, so let's go ahead and get this oil drained out. Retain our cover. This is a 17-millimeter drain plug by the manufacturer. We're going to drain this out and we're going to see what the oil looks like coming out of here. As far as this crush washer goes, self-lubricating. On the old drain plug, there's a gasket on here. When the vehicle comes from the factory, all BMWs have a silver crush washer on here that the factory uses. A lot of times these will get stuck and they'll stay on here. We'll get cars in here sometimes that these are still on here and they've then added the new one and they're on there together sandwiched up here. It's incorrect. So this needs to be removed. We toss these out, we put the new one on, and we're good to go. Okay, so we're gonna get the drain plug put in this thing with our new crush washer on it. Per the BMW spec from the manufacturer, it's 25 Newton meters is the tightness of the drain plug. So we have our snap-on torque wrench. We're gonna set this to 25 Newton meters. We're gonna get our plug placed in. Okay, so now we're going to conduct a multi-point inspection on the vehicle per the manufacturers, make sure everything on this looks good. We're going to check a few components. I'm going to take you along with me. These are full ceramic pads, so expect some brake dust. That's absolutely acceptable. And also, these squeak. There's a lot of squeaking, especially in the morning when it's cold and you first go to move the vehicle in the morning and you back out of the driveway, it's going to squeak. It's a ceramic pad and it's part of it. But you'll be able to see if you own your own, the braking's there. It's all there. Okay, next step is we're going to do the rear diff flush while the vehicle's still in the air. We have a rear diff fill plug and we have a drain plug on here. The oil we're going to be using for this is the Hypoid Axle G4 for the manufacturer. Part number is 8322 447 362. The reason we're flushing this out today is because there's a clutch pack inside of here which has frictions and steels, and that clutch pack wears and it puts a lot of break-in debris and friction material inside of the fluid, which you don't want to keep inside of there. So we're going to drain this out. We're going to show you what it looks like. Okay, it's an H14 that we're going to use to remove the fill plug and drain plug. They're both the same size.
Andy, I've heard that this stuff stinks. Like, it has a very pungent odor to it.
It's not good. I guess next time you bring your car in for service, come on in and smell it for yourself. We're going to remove the fill plug first, just so we make sure we can actually fill this back up. Grab a flashlight. right, let's get this drain plug out. Total this holds. All right, let's get this drain plug out. Total, this thing holds 1 liter. So I'm gonna get the stuff out of here. The new fluid is amber. It looks just like engine oil. It looks really clear and nice. And then you'll be able to see all the friction material inside of here, judging by how dark gray this is. So this is what we're trying to get out of here. This is really clean. It looks like engine oil, nice and gray or golden from the factory. And then this grayish color is the friction material from the break-in. And this is why the manufacturer requires the break-in service to be done. Okay, let's go ahead and get this diff filled up now that it's all emptied out. Drain plug, there's no replaceable gaskets on these. It's just this green one inside of here. These are fine. You do not have to replace these as long as you're not over torquing them. Torque spec on these is 45 Newton meters. That's our 1 liter of fluid right from both the bottles. Each one of these are 500 milliliters. We went over earlier. So we've got 1 liter of fluid inside of here. We check our fill level. Whoop. And we're good to go, guys. Let's tighten this top fill plug up. We'll be on our way. All right, next step is we're going to pull the oil filter out of this. Okay, we got the oil filter out. Again, for part of the break-in service is go ahead and do the oil change. Obviously, the goal here is to not find any type of debris or material inside of here. I see something blue, something small and blue in here, something inside of there. But in order to not void BMW's warranty, this has to be done. And I mean, it's free. It comes with the service. Look at that. What is that? So let's go ahead and get this thing in the air and we'll get the oil drained. Okay, let's get the oil filter pulled out of the oil filter housing. This is the oil filter itself. Got on here. Just trying to get this thing cleaned up here. And then inside the oil filter housing cup is what we've got. And this is normal. This is just part of it. This is why we're here to do the break-in service today for this customer. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get the oil inside of the filter here. This is for the 23 M3. Let's go and get this thing opened up. Part number on this one is 11-428-092-620. So we grab our filter. It seats down inside of our cup, which we've already cleaned out. Satisfying click. If you get the part directly from BMW, you get a black gasket. The aftermarket ones are usually red and they don't seal very well. Gasket on, roll this thing all the way down. And then it also comes with the new crush washer for the drain plug, which we'll go over in a second. Okay, that's it, we're loaded up. Okay, let's get the oil filter put into the car. Inside of here, inside of the oil filter housing is a stick that's gonna run through the center. And then if you look inside the oil filter housing, this little blue gasket's gonna go inside a hole that coincides. I'm not gonna lie to you, these are a pain to put in. Just take your time. There's no easy way to do this. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and torque the oil filter cap into the housing. The torque spec on this is 25 Newton meters. So now that you've oiled your gasket on the oil filter, got the filter inside of the cap, got the cap put back inside of the housing, 25 Newton meters, and we're all done. So today we're gonna be using 0W30. That's what our parts room supplies us here at BMW Temple. The 0 stands for what the oil weight is when it's cold, and then the 30 is what it is when it's warm. We live in Texas, it gets hot here, 100 plus degrees in the summertime, so we want a thicker oil inside of these. If you live in a colder climate, you need to be running 0W20. Okay, now we're going to tighten the low pressure coolant reservoir back inside of its place with the fasteners here. These fasteners are an E6. Okay, so what we like to do at BMW Temple, tire pressure, washer fluid, and coolant is topped off on all vehicles. It's not optional. You bring it to us, you get it done right. Okay, we've already topped off the washer fluid. We're going to go ahead and check the level inside of the high pressure coolant reservoir and the low pressure coolant reservoir, and just ensure these are full. This is included in the service. Okay, that's full and clean, looks good to me. These can be kind of hard to get off sometimes. That's just kind of makes a good seal. This one's a bit low, as you can see here. So we're gonna make sure we get this topped off for the customer today. Okay guys, we'd like to thank you for joining us here today. Again, I'm Andy, this is Corey here at BMW at Temple in Texas. We just wanted to go over the 1,200 mile break-in service to BMW's manufacturer and the requirements they have and exactly how we do it here at the dealership. So other than that, we appreciate your time. Thank you for choosing BMW and have a good day.
Alrighty guys, that was Andy going over all the break-in services that you get done on your M car when you come by and see us at BMW of Temple. We're over here at 6006 South General Bruce Drive in Temple, Texas. You can't miss us on the right side of 35 headed to Austin. If you come by and you need your M car worked on, definitely ask for Andy. And if you're looking for a car up front, make sure you ask for me. Y'all have a good one.